Becoming a millionaire by 30 isn't luck, it's habits. These 7 daily practices changed my mindset, my income, and my entire life. Want to know what really works? Before we dive in, make sure to like this video and subscribe for more wealth building tips. Now, let's break down the 7 millionaire habits that got me to 7 figures by 30. 1. Relentless focus on financial education. From an early age, I committed myself to understanding how money truly works. I realized that no one was going to teach me this in school, so I took matters into my own hands. I read every personal finance book I could find, diving deep into topics like budgeting, investing, and saving. I consumed podcasts on my commute, watched interviews with self-made millionaires, and followed content creators who broke down complex financial concepts. While others scrolled aimlessly through social media, I was learning about compound interest, the power of passive income, and the rules of wealth building. I educated myself on how credit works, how to manage taxes, and how to legally protect and grow my income. I learned to think long-term and question every financial decision before making it. I studied the difference between good debt and bad debt, and I understood that financial freedom came from strategic action, not luck. Financial literacy gave me the confidence to make smarter choices and take calculated risks. 2. Ruthless control over spending. While most people increase their lifestyle with every raise, I didn't. I kept my expenses low even when my income started to grow. I tracked every dollar and asked myself if a purchase aligned with my bigger goals. I didn't deprive myself of joy, but I spent intentionally, not emotionally. I learned to separate wants from needs and prioritized financial freedom over flexing. I avoided lifestyle inflation and focused instead on creating margin between income and expenses. That margin became the capital I used to invest, start businesses, and take strategic risks. I stopped trying to impress people who didn't care and focused on impressing my future self. I used frugality as a tool, not a punishment. It gave me freedom, flexibility, and options most people never have. Every unnecessary purchase delayed my dreams, so I got good at saying no. I understood that every dollar saved could become 10 in the future if invested wisely. I made sure my money worked harder than I did. This habit allowed me to live below my means while building above average wealth. 3. Investing early and consistently. I didn't wait for the right time to invest. I started with what I had. Even if it was just a small amount, I put money into assets regularly. I understood that time in the market beats timing the market, so I let compound interest do its magic. I invested in index funds, dividend-paying stocks, and later in real estate. I stayed consistent, even when the market dipped, because I saw the bigger picture. I viewed investing as buying time and freedom, not just making money. I reinvested returns, avoided panic selling, and educated myself on different asset classes. I learned the value of diversification and risk management. I didn't chase trends or hype. I focused on long-term growth. I automated my investments to stay disciplined even when life got busy. I treated investing like a non-negotiable habit, not an occasional decision. That consistency helped me build real wealth over time. I knew every dollar I invested was a soldier working for my future. 4. Building multiple streams of income. Relying on one income source is risky, so I diversified early. My job paid the bills, but my side hustles built my wealth. I started freelancing, launched small digital products, and monetized my skills online. I wasn't afraid to experiment. Some ventures failed, but each one taught me something valuable. I used evenings and weekends to build businesses instead of binge-watching shows. As one income grew, I reinvested it into creating another. Eventually, I had income from my 9-to-5, freelance clients, online sales, and dividends. This allowed me to earn even while I slept. I became obsessed with scaling my time. If I could earn without being present, I did. I automated processes, delegated tasks, and focused on systems over hustle. Every new income stream gave me more stability and more fuel for investing. It also gave me leverage. I could say no to things I didn't want. I wasn't tied to one employer or dependent on one paycheck. That freedom was priceless and accelerated my path to millionaire status. This habit helped me escape the time for money trap. Wealth followed because I built income streams that didn't stop when I did. 5. Surrounding myself with growth-minded people. Environment matters more than we think. I made it a priority to be around people who inspired, challenged, and educated me. I sought out mentors, joined mastermind groups, and networked with entrepreneurs. I left behind toxic relationships and negative influences that drained my energy. Being in rooms where money was discussed openly changed how I thought. I learned new strategies, avoided costly mistakes, and gained insights that books couldn't offer. The right conversations opened doors I didn't even know existed. I watched how successful people made decisions and how they handled failure. I listened more than I spoke and absorbed every lesson I could. Their energy, habits, and confidence rubbed off on me. I started thinking bigger, setting higher standards, and moving more intentionally. I realized I didn't have to figure everything out alone. The right circle will elevate your mindset and multiply your momentum. I made sure my network was full of builders, dreamers, and doers. This habit helped me stay motivated and accountable on tough days. Growth became normal because I was surrounded by people growing. 6. Relentless execution on goals. Dreaming is easy, doing is what sets you apart. I wrote my goals down, broke them into daily actions, and tracked my progress relentlessly. I didn't wait for motivation. I created systems that made success automatic. I prioritized action over perfection and progress over procrastination. I woke up early, minimized distractions, and built routines that made execution easier. I treated every day like a building block toward something bigger. Even when I failed forward. I reviewed what worked, what didn't, and adjusted fast. I kept my goals visible so I never lost sight of the mission. I celebrated small wins to stay motivated and hungry. I didn't just plan, I moved. I became obsessed with following through, even when no one was watching. 7. Long-term thinking. In every decision, every financial decision I made, I filtered through the lens of my future self. I asked whether this purchase, investment, or habit helped or hurt the person I wanted to become. I stopped chasing short-term pleasure and started prioritizing long-term gain. I delayed gratification because I knew what I was working toward. I didn't let short-term emotions derail long-term goals. I built plans that looked 5, 10, even 20 years ahead. I made sacrifices in my 20s so I could live differently in my 30s. I passed on vacations to build assets. I skipped upgrades to build equity. I knew every smart decision today was planting seeds for tomorrow. Long-term thinking helped me avoid impulsive decisions and expensive mistakes. It gave me clarity in chaos and purpose in discipline. Success leaves clues, and habits are everything. Which habit are you going to start today? Let me know in the comments. If this video inspired you, don't forget to like and subscribe for more tips on building wealth, creating freedom, and designing your dream life. Stay tuned, your millionaire journey starts now.